Spoiler alert, the following podcast includes discussions on film that may potentially, intentionally or inadvertently, reveal plot twists, character traits, story details, up to and including endings that might otherwise be considered spoilers. Proceed at your own risk.
You're listening to Moviesucktastic.
Politics are only needed by people incapable of running their own minds. I'm now going to transplant a human brain into the head of this lion.
It all sounds like some bad movie.
So
Welcome to Moviesucktastic, rolling on in the new year as normal.
Yeah, this is the we haven't recorded in a while. Joey forgot shit edition.
Yeah. Well, but you know, I feel refreshed. I feel renewed. I feel a little less sad and suicidal than I did at the end of last year.
Yeah.
And so maybe we'll be able to forge ahead.
Maybe we can always try.
And I think it's we're taking a positive light step by reviewing this episode, the light family fantasy fair Willow from 1988.
Your journey is just beginning. Did you catch that in the trailer?
Yes, I did.
Somebody said just beginning.
Just beginning.
Your journey is just beginning.
Should we do another take? No.
That's perfect. We're not going to use that anyway.
Wrap it. No one's going to watch this fucking film.
No, we're not going to use that anyway. Yeah, it's just, you know, yeah. We got 50 other takes where you don't say just beginning. But Lucas is like, you know, there's something about this. I think we need to use it. Yeah.
The other trailer was just Lucas crying for 30 seconds.
No, actually, I think it was him laughing for 30 seconds.
Fuck him. Sorry. Anyway,
he's like, last year I did Howard the Duck, and now they gave me $150 million to do this. Morons, and they're gonna go see it. Actually, they didn't go see it.
Well, it eventually made its money back, but yeah, it was not a success at the box office.
No, after Howard the Duck, it was kind of the beginning of the end for Lucas. He hadn't directed anything other than Star Wars. Made $1 billion off of that. Decides that he's not going to direct the rest of his own trilogy, which was the smartest move he ever made.
Yeah, okay. You know what? Because I even think at some point he realized, yeah, I'm not that good.
Yeah, he's just like, I'd rather just sit back and write this stuff and let everyone else do their thing, and I'll chime in when needed.
Yeah, I caught lightning in a bottle. I'm done.
Yeah. He did American Graffiti, which is a decent film. He did THX. He did the film THX, whatever that is, 1138. And then he did Star Wars, and then that was it.
See, now I got to look, because if I'm wrong, I'm going to sound like an asshole.
Well, what do you mean?
No, I was right. THX 1138.
Oh, okay, 1138. Right. Just beginning.
Yeah. It's just beginning.
It's just beginning. So Ron Howard, he directed this film, hot off the heels of Cocoon, and he was an up-and-coming director. Cocoon was a huge hit, and
Lucas glommed onto him immediately.
Correct, but Lucas, he had his fingers in a lot of pies in this, and this doesn't even feel like a Ron Howard film. This feels like a film where Lucas and other people assisted Ron Howard into making George Lucas's vision.
Sure.
Which is kind of what Lucas does with every project that he's on.
Yeah, because he's such a visionary.
Yeah. About the you know what? Yeah, about the only thing that he was actually good at, and it wasn't even him entirely, it was just his money, was creating THX, like sound, and having a huge hand in making Industrial Light and Magic.
Right,
which their fingerprints are all over this.
Right, and Willow was the first film that they used the morphing thing.
Oh, God, that... And
yeah.
you could tell that
someone's... That's kind of new in this.
Yeah, and someone's like jacking off to it. It's like, oh, this is so great. It's like, oh, she's going to be a Bengal tiger. Now she's old. It's like, wait, what?
Which I did.
That scene goes on.
And she looks at her hands. I was waiting for her to go, I'm 17, asshole. What did you do to me?
That scene goes on way too long, by the way. Like, she's like seven different animals.
That's like the whole film. The whole film goes on way too long.
And Warwick Davis, I mean, obviously he was an Ewok in Return of the Jedi, and Lucas... Lucas really catered this film around him.
All right.
I don't know if he was trying to make Warwick Davis like a star in some way, but I don't know.
I got a whole thing about not Warwick Davis personally, but the whole dwarf thing.
Okay.
That I don't know when I want to get into that because that's gonna. I'll probably anger somebody, but but I got my notebook out for this one.
Oh boy.
The old notebook, and I wasn't going to take notes during this because
I watched this movie over a month ago. Because we decided to do holiday films for a couple of weeks. So I watched this a month ago. So I'm basically going to be reliving this as we review it. That's how review is going to go by me.
I haven't seen this film since I was in 1988. Because why would I?
True. I've actually seen this a few more times. It's one of those films that they played a lot on cable, like Cinemax and whatnot.
Right, but the weird thing is, if it's on cable, you have to watch it.
This is also true.
And I didn't.
But
I just watched Gung Ho for like the 87th time.
That was a Cinemax special.
Oh, that was, yeah.
On Cinemax constantly. And we've said this on the show, and I've said it numerous times. The big thing with Cinemax back in the 80s and 90s was, we're showing 500 movies this month. This month we have 487. This month we have 600 movies. That was their thing. It wasn't like we're showing you quality stuff. It's just we got a lot of it. We got bulk.
But they would still play Gung Ho twice a day.
Yep. They'd find time to do it.
Because 500 films sounds like a lot of films until you break it down into hours per day, 24-hour days in a month.
It sounds like a lot of films until you look at your own Plex collection.
Yeah. By the way, as of today, all 3 of my hard drives are maxed out.
Oh boy.
I went to throw Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade on, which I don't even like. And I got the third. This drive is full. It's like, oh shit! So now I have to go and delete stuff, and I've been deleting, but
really?
not enough.
Not enough.
Yeah. So I got to pare down my 7 terabytes to like.
Oofa.
6.5.
Dear Lord. How many films is 4,000? Something like that?
The exact number as of now, let me bring it up, is... bring up Scotflix. Oh, that's unwatched is 2,500. Total films, 4,657.
What is wrong with you?
All right, some stuff I instinctively kind of grab anything that's a horror film from the 80s, so yeah, I could pair some of that off. There's some stuff on here I don't need, but I'll admit that. And I'm a completist too, so I have like all the aliens, and I hate most of them.
Well, yeah.
I have all the Aliens versus Predators. Why?
There's no reason for that.
I agree. There is no reason for that.
I mean, there's no reason why I have Alien vs. Predator director's cut. There's no reason I have that either.
Well, if
But
it's worth having, it's worth having the director's cut. Come
well,
on.
if there's a director's cut or if there is an extended cut, that's the version I'm going to get. If that's the intended version that they wanted me to see, that's the one I'm going to put in my collection. That's just how I roll. As a matter of fact, I didn't realize that the X-Files, the first X-Files movie, I didn't realize that had an extended edition, which I now have.
I don't have either of the X-Files films.
I actually like the second one better than the first one. The second one is very dark.
Can I admit I never even saw the second one?
I would have said the same thing up until a couple of years ago when I just happened to catch it channel surfing. And
Shit!
I put it
I do
on.
have I do have the first X-Files film. I
Oh,
take
you
that
do?
back.
Oh, okay. See?
Huh.
This is because you got like 5,000 movies on there. You don't even know what you have.
Oh no, I have Fight the Future is the second one, right?
No, that's the first one.
That's the first. I have it, but the only reason I have it is because it's a riff tracks.
Oh, okay. The second one is called I Want to Believe, which
Right.
both Fight the Future and I Want to Believe are the shittiest names
Oh yeah.
that they could have picked.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
They should have just called it X-Files Volume 1 or X-Files Volume 2, or the X-Files and the X-Files,
X-Files.
I or whatever. It just
Mulder fuck Scully.
yeah.
Yeah. Sold out. There you go.
They're done. 50 million
Done.
opening weekend.
But yeah. So I'm maxed out.
So,
I flew too close to the sun.
yes, you did. You got burned, baby.
And it's probably one of the reasons why I was watching Willow on your Plex, because I didn't even feel like adding it to mine.
Yes, I did notice that. Sorry. You know what's funny about that? Mare calls me real quick before we get into Willow.
Here we
She
go.
calls me and she says there's a loud beeping noise in the basement. And I said, oh, I know what that is. That's my battery backup that my computer is connected to. If we lose power or there's a surge, the battery backup will take the brunt. I said, what you need to do is you need to go downstairs, turn off my computer, turn the battery backup on and off. Oh, no, I'm not doing that. What do you mean you're not doing that? I'm not doing that. It's so easy. This went on for like 2 minutes. So basically what I had to do is I had to do it when I came home and you were already watching something and someone else was already watching something. I'm like, this battery is going to die any second. So I texted people and no one's responding. And I'm like, shit, I just have to do it. So I apologize. You were in the middle of watching Willow when I did it.
Yeah, but that would have been a godsend, believe me. Like,
But
the movie stopped. Wow. Thank you, God.
did it just freeze up?
No.
How does it work when? Because I've never been disconnected by someone else's Plex before.
You caught me before I turned it off.
Oh, you did? You were able to turn it off? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Fine.
So but I was watching it last night. I sat down and I was alone in my office just watching this film, and I was going to take notes, but then the first screen came up, and it's the old a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away bullshit, because Lucas is original when it comes to shit.
Oh yeah.
And it talks about how Queen Bob Morda, and this is why I don't like fantasy.
Don't they call her Bad Morda?
I guess what's Bav? B-A-V, so it sounds like Bad Morda. That's that clever name thing.
Yeah.
That's like Mad Mardigan, which at first it sounds like they're calling him Mad Mardigan. No, his whole name is one word, Mad Mardigan. But so they just took Mad Mardigan and put it together. Horrible name. That's why I hate fantasy, because people always have to give people silly names.
Yes.
But
Oh, yes.
Portia, or Corsia, or everything has to be like wrong. It has to be every name in a fantasy book is something that you have to like try to pronounce. It doesn't just roll off the tongue. You actually have to stop and go, Gwendolyn, Wendelina. So fuck that shit first of all. But first it comes up, we're not even into the movie yet, and it says Queen Babmorda is told that a child will bring her, and I'm paraphrasing, that a child born in the kingdom will bring her about her downfall. So she rounds up all the pregnant women and vows to kill the children when born, or kill the child when born.
Yes.
Immediately, I hit pause. Says, "What? You're an evil sorceress. Just kill the pregnant women." What the fuck?
She has to make sure that the child is born.
No. She has to make sure the child's not born by killing the mother. Immediately, I'm done with this film.
Well, I get what you're saying. I agree. If she's evil, then she's not going to have a problem killing pregnant women. But there's
Exactly.
a part of her that says, "Well, I don't want to kill someone for no reason. I want to
What?
wait for
Yes,
this
she
baby
does.
to be born." Well, no, that's
Kill
what
the-
that's what I
No, no,
take
no, no.
from it.
No, what I take from it is lazy writing.
Well,
It's a fantasy film, so we'll just make this shit up and it has to happen. No, come on. Really? She's ruling this whole kingdom and she's that inefficient that she can't even like cut a middle line between the child's gonna be born in this. Oh, just kill all the children, just kill all the newborns. Shit,
Yeah.
the Bible knew how to do that.
if she's willing
Kill
to
kill all male children. Oh, there you go, done.
if she's willing to kill a baby, she's willing to kill a pregnant woman. So you're right.
Yes, just line them up. And also, and I know I'm jumping to the end of the film, but she can't. When the baby's born, instead of just killing it, she has to perform this ceremony that will drive its spirit like into the netherworld or something. Which I assume killing a baby would do kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And apparently, this is a ritual that takes about 3.5 days.
Yeah, and don't spill anything around that area, or that's big problem.
Yeah. Like they catch the baby, they go to the castle. It's like, oh damn, she's gonna kill her. It's like night, next day, bring us the kid back. So I have to perform the ceremony. What have you been doing all night? Apparently wrapping herself with gauze bandages.
Did you notice her makeshift shoes?
Why is she dressed like the mummy?
It's like, I don't understand what's happening here. She could turn everyone into pigs, but she can't just levitate this baby up to her. And then when Warwick Davis over here, he rescues, what the hell is her name? The old lady, Ravel?
Uh-huh.
Raziel.
Raziel?
Another stupid name.
I told you, it was Raziel.
Raziel. And then she says to them, "Don't worry, I've put a shield around this whole camp." It's like, oh, thank God. Because it's like, how come she hasn't done anything again? Obviously, she can do whatever she wants. The Bad Morda or Bav Morda.
Even look at Warwick Davis's character Willow, the title character, the titular character, and the main star of the film, who got third billing.
Well, yeah, because Val Kilmer was just off of Weird Science, or he did. What did he do after Weird Science? But he was getting hot.
Yeah,
he was becoming a big actor. And
but Willow's last name is Oofgood.
Oofgood. Willow? No, I think it's Offgood.
It's spelled Oofgood.
But I think he pronounces it Offgood, or like
he should pronounce it "fuck off" because
fuck
I
off.
hate this shit.
And then Joanne Whalley, so hot in her prime.
Migosh and Voknar and
who plays Sorsha?
Burglecut.
Burglecut.
Like 20 times in one 5-minute scene, I got to hear Burglecut.
Was he in Time Bandits?
Everybody in this film was in Time Bandits. I stopped doing that.
You're right. Just about everyone was in Time Bandits.
I stopped doing that like 30 seconds into the town sequence where they go in and it plays like, oh, that guy's from Time Bandits. Oh, that guy's from Time Bandits. Oh, that. No, I should just stop. Everybody here's been in stuff because they're all acting dwarves.
Yeah.
The what's his name from?
Burglecut was not in Time Bandits.
No, not Burglecut. No, but what's his name from Bad Santa's in there too?
Oh, yes, yes, he is. He's one of the guys that goes on the excursion to go bring this baby, and then he hightails it out of there with Burglecut. Mm-hmm. He's like, "Yeah, we're done. We're getting out of here."
Well, because in the first crowd scene, you just like glimpse him briefly in the corner. It's like, oh, it's that guy, and then in the back of my head, I was like, obviously, you're going to see him again. He's like a major dwarf actor. Just stop looking in the crowd because you're going to recognize every other person you see.
That's right.
So you got that. And all right, so let's talk about the little dwarf village.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, this whole thing is because Lucas. So this whole thing, from what I've read, supposedly Lucas meets Warwick Davis.
Yes.
Likes them. Decides he wants to do this whole film, and supposedly the original working title was Munchkins.
Oh God.
Yeah, and his whole idea is let's get a bunch of little people in here. Let's get and they're all dwarves. as far as I can tell. I have very
Right.
few, if any, midgets.
Tony Cox. That's the guy from
Tony
Bad Santa.
Cox, right. And watching this film, it occurred to me that there's a really good reason why they used normal-sized people in the Lord of the Rings as hobbits, and they
Dwarf.
shrunk them down with special effects.
Yes.
Because dwarves walk funny.
What about
Dwarves walk very funny.
What about the scene at the end where where Willow and his wife embrace, where they run in such a weird way that they avoid like smacking each other in the face?
Dwarves are, I mean, they are physically awkward, abnormal people. And it's just a fact. Not saying they're not bad people, but watching them is awkward.
And I'm sure Lucas, that's exactly what he was going for.
I don't think so. I think he was going for cute and charming, and I think he didn't clue on the reality of, all right, I'm going to get a bunch of malformed people and then have them run around and do stuff. No, and it's bad for them too, because again, like, Willow's the star of the film. It's Willow's movie. But let's get a couple of really attractive, tall people to have a love story around, because we don't want any of that going on with the funny-looking little guys. And oh my God, I'm sorry. I am not not trying to be a dick, but honestly, when the midwife floats the baby off in the river before the giant rats that sound like dogs ate her,
Yeah.
and then Willow's kids find him. Children dwarves are creepy.
Oh no.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Ugh.
Whoa.
Oh, no, because they're small, but
Yeah.
even though they're like normal sized children, technically speaking, you can see that they're not right. There's like the physical parts, and it's almost like you can see.
You mean it's like you can tell they have dwarfism?
You can tell that they're not growing right. Even at that point, it's just because they weren't just kids; they were dwarf kids. It's like you can tell. It's like, oh, that's a dwarf child.
And what about Warwick Davis's normal-sized hands? As a child, that is one of the things I noticed immediately. I was like, his hands are normal.
It's creepy, and his arms are longer, but not long enough. But yeah, I mean, dwarves are disproportionate, you know. And
Yeah.
I'm going to say this now. I mean, you're watching this; it's a fucking freak show. It is. It's what it is, and it's you feel bad after a while, because these people were only hired because they're dwarves.
Yeah.
And then why did Warwick Davis get this role? Because he's one of the prettier dwarves.
Yeah. He was shit. How old was
17.
he when he's 17 when he did this, right?
Yeah, he's only 10 years older than his children in the film.
Yeah. And he was so that would make him only during the filming of Jedi, which he was an Ewok in, he was only like 12, 13 years old. There's this whole story, because Carrie Fisher just died, that she was a very caring person, as specifically towards Warwick Davis, because he was a child actor in this suit, for like 10, 12 hours a day.
Oh,
so
sure.
she was making sure that he was well hydrated and that he ate something and all that, because no one was really doing that for him. So that I just read that story recently, because she just passed away. So yeah, he's a kid basically, and yeah, I guess you're right. He's one of the prettier ones. Normal size
that's
hands.
why I have badmouthed Peter Dinklage in the past on the show.
Yes, you have.
And all around this one interview where he got pissed because someone had said, like, he got tired of people telling him he's lucky for being where he is, because no, I worked hard. And I still say, no, you're fucking lucky because you're an attractive dwarf. Because if you weren't an attractive dwarf, you wouldn't be playing on fucking Game of Thrones. You'd be a fucking jester somewhere. And that's just the truth. And he's also doubly lucky that he's an adult dwarf in this decade and not in the fucking 80s. Otherwise, he would have been playing backup band in fucking Willow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he would have been in this kind of shitty movie instead of being the heartthrob in a fucking like a well written cable television series. That's where his career would have fucking been. He is the epitome of fucking lucky. You think he has a film career, a TV career in the 80s? No. He's a fucking extra. He's a prop in the 80s. Like all these, like even Warwick was in this.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Peter Dinklage.
Oh, no.
You are fucking lucky.
Stop that.
Hell.
Stop.
No, seriously. I hate that shit. I worked hard. I tell you, great. You worked hard. Good. You're also fucking lucky.
Yes, he is lucky. But two things that I like about Peter Dinklage is he actually is a very good actor.
Yes, he's a great actor. I'm not saying he's a bad actor at all.
And he's from Jersey, so he's okay in my book.
Yeah, all right. Everybody's, nobody's perfect.
Oh, don't be so mean.
But I just saying, and you watch this, like, yeah, look at what you would have been fucking forced to do if you would have been dressed up as an Ewok at 13.
Well,
like,
yes,
I think Warwick Davis should just slap Peter Dinklage, like just slap him, fuck some fucking sense into him. Yeah, this is what we had to do, so you can go and be a heartthrob, Mister. I have a normal sized face.
Well, there is one thing that Dinklage is doing is he's giving other little people, dwarves, however the most politically correct way to say it, more opportunities, because he is realistically right now the most famous ever. There's no one more famous than him as far as a dwarf actor.
Dwarves, yeah, he's like this generation's Billy Barty.
Right. So he's opening.
That's a good or bad thing. But
he's opening doors for other one. For
you're
other
right.
people.
Because I've seen so many other films come out with lead dwarf roles in them.
No.
Doors is opening.
I'm just saying.
Name me one other dwarf actor.
I can't do that.
You know why? Because there's no other doors. There's no doors.
What's funny? Gary Oldman, he made a movie with Matthew McConaughey called. He played Matthew McConaughey's dwarf brother. What was it called? I showed you the trailer.
Did you?
You absolutely have seen the trailer. I can't remember the name of it.
Oh, and he's not even a dwarf.
And no, I know, but they like CGI'd his face on a dwarf body, or they put him in maybe they put him in an outfit and they tried to do like forced perspective. It was like really weird and awkward.
It was like that Wayne's film we reviewed.
Oh yeah, baby, not Baby
the
Daddy,
baby one.
But it was the baby one. But it was
whatever it was, it wasn't memorable.
No, it wasn't.
But there's another one where
it wasn't called like I Love You Man, but it was called something.
Yeah, but again, they took like a normal sized person and shrunk him down to be a dwarf because real dwarves aren't funny. They're sad little nature's mistakes.
There's nature's mistakes. Okay.
Well, but I mean, it's a deformity. It's a deformity. Correct?
Little man.
Little man. There you go.
Man. Yes, it is. It is.
It is. Not being me. And they have reality shows now that people are watching. Are they watching because they really care about the life of a little person? No, they want to watch the freaks. It's a freak show. That's what it is. And during the first half hour of Willow, I'm watching a dwarf parade, and it's unsettling. And other things too, like all of the warriors in the little dwarf village. They called them something, Ugwin or something. I don't even fucking care. But they all had spears. You know why?
Why?
Because they can look really ferocious using a spear, but give those long floppy arms with the short elbows, give them like a real sword, and they're going to look silly just flapping it back and forth. Because there's no dexterity there for that. So they had to give them spears.
Right.
That's why they give Willow a sword for like 5 seconds.
That is true.
And I read somewhere it's like, oh yeah, he had to learn how to use a sword fight. It says, really? And after they saw him sword fight, they took that scene out because all they do is give him a sword and have him rush somebody. What the fuck? Yeah. How many days did it take to learn that fucking move. So
there's a scene where they find Val Kilmer and his teeth are the worst.
and then they show him brush his teeth, and then they're white the rest of the film.
They're perfect. They're perfect the rest of the movie.
See, I remember that pissed me off. I didn't even write it down because I was like, motherfucker. They show him and he's got like the Mad Mardigan teeth. I'm crazy. And then like the next morning he's rubbing his teeth with a cloth, and then he's pearly white the rest of the film.
Yeah. Like, how long's he been in there? That is some serious plaque problems.
And how long was he eating chocolate? Because that's how easily it wiped off.
I mean, it's like, that's years of neglect.
One chamois wipe later, and he's looking good.
Wow.
Wow.
The film with Gary Oldman and Matthew McConaughey was called Tiptoes.
Never heard of it.
You've seen the trailer. I watched it with you.
I do not recall that at all.
Such a bad trailer. I thought it was like fake when I saw the trailer for it, but it's a real movie. Jim Jarmusch is doing a new film called Patterson. Makes me think of Wolner. He loved Jim Jarmusch.
Stop. Move on.
I know.
Oh, they're called Aldwins. I don't know. Whatever. But, I mean, so it's a village full of dwarves, and the queen doesn't think about killing the pregnant women. So instead, the midwife risks her life to save the baby because I guess, when your job's that bad, anything's better. I don't know why they decided that dressing up dogs as rats was a good idea, but they did it.
Okay.
And then the dwarves find the baby. They decide that they have to take it away. Willow wants to be a wizard. Subplot that I don't even know why it's there. And then it's an adventure with brownies and Val Kilmer and a redhead. And I'm already tired.
See, now I have to see this film by Jim Jarmusch called Patterson because it takes place in Patterson, New Jersey.
Oh, enough with New Jersey. Oh.
No, I love movies that take place in New Jersey.
It's like
it's like
M. Night Shyamalan. It's like, yeah, I get it. You're from Pennsylvania. Enough already.
Well, he mostly does Philly, but yes, you're right. He more focuses on the city instead of the state. But yes, you are correct.
Just check it in my notes. Here we go, right here. Dwarf children are gross.
Oh no!
And then a couple later, my God, so many dwarves. And then that's why you don't see dwarves in the Hobbit films. It's like, no, it's unmanageable.
Unmanageable.
And then they take these poor dwarves who, again, they have like short legs, and they say, all right, now we're going to take you on a hike through the forest.
Yeah, they're going to make you run and walk long.
Yeah. And apparently, and this makes perfect sense to me, from what I read, the scene where the baby vomits on Burglekutt's face.
Yeah.
Apparently, that wasn't part of the Scream movie. That actually happened.
Oh God, really?
Because Willow, Warwick Davis, walks so weirdly because he's a dwarf that the baby got motion sick on his back.
Oh shit!
So they wrote the whole him being sick part into it.
Oh my God!
And when I read that, I was like, I totally believe that, 100%. He's got the baby thing. He's walking like this. It's like, oh.
Wow.
It's the reason it bothers me is because it's pure exploitation by Lucas. Saying, let me get all these little people and put them in a film, and even though he doesn't play it like it is, it's still exploitative. It's very much so. Yeah. He's making his own cross between Star Wars and The Wizard of Oz.
That's what he tried, yeah.
And tell me that those two parallels aren't all throughout the film. The village of dwarves, we have to take this road, this path. It could be a golden yellow brick road. And they meet these other characters. You've got the C-3PO and R2-D2 brownies. You've got Mad Mardigan, who's your Han Solo character. Willow's kind of like your Luke Skywalker character. Oh, here's the princess. She's the bad princess, but she'll turn good anyway and fall for the bad boy Han. And it's so much like everything else he's fucking done.
It's the only thing he knows how to do.
Exactly. And then, again, it's him trying to do his own Wizard of Oz, but updated. You even have the good witch and the bad witch. Didn't mind the wizard's duel too much at the end. That was one of the... okay parts of the film.
It made me long for the Wizards duel in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. I was like, after this, I got to bring up Lord. I didn't, but I was like, I gotta watch Lord after this. That was great. I love that one.
Here's Eric the Viking. This is the deadbeat dad in Superman 3.
That's right, it is.
Got a little bit more hair.
Oh, what's his name again?
Eric.
No, but I mean,
his real name. I think it's an Irish name.
Because when I first saw him for a brief second, I was like, "Is that Jake Busey?" He's like, "No, it's too old for that. It's not Jake Busey."
Gavin O'Hurley. His name is Eric, and it's spelled A-I-R-K. Eric.
Eric. It's again, fucking sci-fi is almost as bad, but half the time they don't pull this. But every fantasy thing you ever see, it can't just be Steve.
Oh man, he was born in Ireland too, so yeah. It's Eric the Viking.
I think this was like
I almost want to challenge you to Eric the Viking, because that's all I thought of when I was watching this. It's like, oh, it's Eric the Viking.
Now, I have an idea when we get there, so I won't say anything about that.
Yeah, no, I have a couple I want to throw by you as well.
No. I'll mention it then.
Okay.
Yeah, he wasn't that bad.
No, he was fine. He's an okay actor.
It's hard to blame actors, like Val Kilmer's kind of doing his real genius character through most of the film.
Oh yeah,
and you can't feel too bad about it because one, you got to blame the director.
It's what made him famous, though.
Sure, but again, like the director, you could think he's hey, can you do a little bit less of the geeky boy to do a bit more like a real man, the sword fighting stuff was good. Yeah. You are a great warrior.
Yeah, you'll bang later.
I did like the idea of magic being this like not as controllable as you'd like.
Right.
Like I like when he shoots the troll. Oh, trolls, by the way, worst thing ever in this film.
Awful.
They make the rat dogs look like a good idea.
Yeah, and you know what? That was really only in there for Industrial Light and Magic. That's it. That's all that was in there for.
Well, what did they do? What did they do besides have them walk on a wall? Other than that, they were just guys in like a. You know what they looked like? They looked like the boogeymen from the Laurel and Hardy Babes of Toyland.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm not thinking. You're talking trolls. I'm talking about those big snake things. What the fuck were those?
The monster?
Yeah. Oh, they came out of the trolls when they would die.
Yeah, he hit the troll. Yeah, that's
why
I like that idea of like, if I use magic wrong, it does horrible, ugly things. I like that. I thought that was the most interesting part of the film. It was like, and I forget what that thing was named after Siskel and Ebert. It's like called like a Berserk or something like that.
Oh, really?
It's not mentioned in the film, but press kits had the name in there, and he admitted that they named. And there was another monster or something here that was named after a critic as well.
He named it after Siskel and Ebert before they even reviewed it?
Huh?
He named it after Siskel and Ebert before they even reviewed it?
Well, because I'm sure they had really good things to say about Howard the Duck.
Oh, yeah, that is true. You know what? Yeah. But you know what? Fuck George Lucas. Yeah. I mean, what is he, M. Night Shyamalan, where he's like, yeah, critics, you're wrong, I'm right. It's like, no, they're right.
No, don't do that. Don't do it. Even if they're wrong, don't do it.
Yeah.
No. But yeah, the trolls. It's geared towards family / kids, so I can forgive things like, when the kids say goodbye and they list monsters, like, I hate trolls. Like, I guess we'll be seeing some trolls in the future. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
You got to do that for the kids. I understand that. But the trolls are just guys in hairy suits. Yeah. There's nothing to it. And the far shot of them crawling on the bottom, it's like, the Ralph Bakshi Lord of the Rings had better special effects than this.
Yeah. I'm actually finding out what this movie cost.
Oh, don't even tell. It's got to be back then, I mean, we're probably looking at 100,000.
100,000? Probably a bit more.
Under that.
I think you meant million, but yes.
I meant 100 million. Sorry.
I'm actually thinking this film was probably a little less. Let's
Under
see.
100 million. Well, no, because the first movie that they claimed cost 100 million was Terminator 2, right?
Yes, that cost
Yeah.
104 million. It was the most expensive film ever made at that point, which was only 3 years after this, though. So
Right. So it's probably close to it.
So, yet again, Box Office Mojo fails me, so I have to go to the numbers.
Box Office Mojo dropping the ball.
Totally. The numbers. Movies released in 1988. Oh boy, that's a lot of movies for January. That's the first thing I always notice when I go to the numbers is how many movies are being released in January. Movies like 18 Again and Clara's Heart, Dominic and Eugene, Permanent Record, Running on Empty, Spellbinder. Oh boy. I think this came out in November. I think it was like a Thanksgiving opening. Willow, where are you? Because this will tell me, it'll tell me how much it cost. Mystic Pizza? Oh my, that actually
You're
made
killing
money.
me. You are literally killing me.
I'm sorry. But I need to know now.
You know what I find funny is that on IMDb the description of Willow is a reluctant dwarf must play a critical role in protecting a special baby from an evil queen. And I get stuck on the first part, a reluctant dwarf. All dwarves are reluctant. Who wants to be a dwarf?
Yeah. Even the numbers doesn't list the production budget. It says it only made 57 million. Opening weekend was 8 million.
IMDb says 35 million estimated.
Really?
That's got to be bullshit. No way this was only 35 million.
That's probably before prints and advertising anyway.
It's saying estimated.
God, really?
Meaning,
for everything?
Yeah, meaning like nobody knows.
Even the interwebs, like Wikipedia, is saying 35 million.
Yeah, estimated. You know what that means, don't you?
What does that mean?
That means no one really knows how much that movie made.
Or cost? Yeah.
Yeah. I meant to say cost, not made. Yeah. I got a feeling that someone was padding the books on that one.
And you know who can get it done better than anyone? George fucking Lucas.
Oh yeah, he knows where the money is.
Because you know what? All 3 Star Wars films, 10 years prior, a few $1 billion have been made on that. They let that slide.
Yeah.
Because, George Lucas, he had done Howard the Duck before this. And, oh, God, what else did he do? Did he do anything in between Howard the Duck? Oh, God, he's writing Indiana Jones 5. Oh, it says characters. Thank God.
Yeah, it's based, yeah.
And
that's when I saw the credits, story by George Lucas. Like, oh, fuck. It's not even producing. It's his idea. Oh,
now
God help us.
Untitled Han Solo Star Wars anthology film.
Don't go down that road. Don't.
Oh my God.
Done.
Anthology film?
Oh, by the way, was that the Rebel Awakens? What was that? Is that what the last movie was?
Rogue One.
Rogue One? Yeah.
Oh, wait. You mean Episode 7?
The one that just came out.
That's Rogue One.
Rogue One. Okay. Don't care.
Yeah, I don't care either. And it's
all these people like complaining about shit. It's like, don't care.
It's the timeline between Episode 3 and Episode 4.
It's not even a real movie.
No, it's just that filler part, that middle part between Episode 3 and Episode 4.
No. You're looking at it the wrong way. It's filler between the last Star Wars film and the next Star Wars film.
Oh yeah,
that's all that is. It's when I say filler, I mean like it's filler between the 2 big features, the epic films. So who gives a shit?
I think they still spent a couple $100 million on this.
Oh sure they did, because why wouldn't you spend $100 million these days?
When I saw the trailer for it, I'm like, is this going to be a theatrical release? That's when I looked at it. I'm like, this is not like a kind of made for Netflix, Amazon thing. Oh, this is a real movie?
Yeah, I was surprised too.
And I was like, I have no interest in seeing this.
Opening weekend for Willow, 8 million.
Yeah, I said that.
Did you?
I sure did.
I didn't hear that in between you not getting the right answers.
Not giving the right... Oh, wow. Don't be a dick.
Sorry, I couldn't help it.
There are so many titles attached to George Lucas that say Star Wars.
It's not even because he's producing and shit. And his
Well,
name's
it's-
attached
well,
to everything because he
because
was
it's
the original creator, etc. So
yeah,
you can't even
everything
gauge any of that
says
stuff.
characters by, you know.
Yeah.
So that's holy God.
Yeah.
You want to talk about lucky? Let's talk about George Lucas. He had an idea that was executed well and made billions of dollars off of it,
There you go.
and on the backs of everyone else.
Sure. And you know what? It's not to say he didn't work hard and stuff, but you know, luck is a factor in everything.
Yep.
Because if he had failed, if he had done everything right and failed, what would they say? Oh, that was bad luck. Then why can't it be good luck if you do everything right and win too? Because the absence of bad luck... I'm getting too philosophical. Let's move on. What is the most painful part of Willow for you? Besides the dwarves. We've already covered the whole dwarf thing is painful and awkward and unnatural. What's the most painful part of the film for you?
It's probably... See, I don't want to... Well, it's probably the whole romantic angle. I just found myself to be completely bored by it.
Wait. You mean that romantic angle where he's drugged into liking her?
Yeah. And possibly the two little pixie fuckers are they're annoying as
Brownie.
shit.
Not Pixie, Brownie. Get it right.
Whatever, Brownie. The fucking Kevin Pollak did it because he needed the money.
Dude, I would have done that if you paid. Come on, he's an actor, comedian. It's a major film. Why wouldn't you do it?
He needed the money.
Now, one thing I read is it said that John Cusack lost the Mad Mardigan role to Val Kilmer, and whoever wrote it said that Val Kilmer says it's one of the biggest regrets of his life. I seriously doubt that. No. I don't think... I really can't see John Cusack looking back on his career right now. Looking, damn it, I wish I'd gotten in Willow.
John Cusack said it's one of the biggest regrets?
Not being in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't believe that for a second. Just like I wouldn't believe it if someone said Val Kilmer says Willow is one of the biggest accomplishments of his career.
Well, when did he say that? I mean, is that an interview from like...
didn't source it. Someone just wrote it.
Oh, okay.
You know, I don't believe it.
Because the only reason why I think he might have said it is because he kind of not fell off the face of the earth. This is John Cusack. But around 1988 was not like the end of his career, but it was like really waning at that point. He wasn't doing, like in the 80s, he was doing movie. And then out of nowhere, he just kind of disappeared for a little while. So I think when he said that, it might have been around the time when he was making that film Tapeheads, Tim Robbins, you know?
He did Tapeheads instead, but, dude, right after that, he's in 8 Men Out, Say Anything, Batman and Little Boy, The Grifters, True Colors, Shadow and Fog. That's all, like, 88 through 91.
Okay.
I mean, he was working. He was doing a lot of stuff. It was a lead role in a major blockbuster release, so that much I can understand. But in hindsight, he can't look back and go, "Oh, I wish I'd gotten that."
Yeah, I don't think he when he was quoted as saying that, I'm pretty sure that wasn't like, say, 5 or 10 years ago.
I think it was when he was interviewed on the set of Tapeheads.
Yeah.
Oh man,
possibly.
That. Yeah.
You know, it's like
that's what it was.
It was probably not when he did Grosse Point Blank, or they were giving him money to direct his own film, which was that. Oh shit! What was the record store movie that he did with Jack Black? Something Records or something like that.
No. You're thinking of Empire Records. It's not Empire Records. It's based on the novel by Hornby. It's High Fidelity.
High Fidelity. There you go.
Yeah, which I'm not a fan of personally.
I've never seen it.
It's not a bad film. I just don't care for it.
Yeah. Okay, so George Lucas does. He's executive producer on Labyrinth, which is considered a classic. by most.
Yeah.
I really like Labyrinth. I still do.
Sure.
I think David Bowie in there is excellent. But of
An
course,
executive producer means he didn't have enough control to fuck it up.
yeah, and Jim Henson pretty much made that movie.
Yeah.
So, and then he did Howard the Duck. And then between Howard the Duck and Willow, there was really nothing but like little things like Captain EO with Michael Jackson for Disney Studios. He did a TV show called Ewoks, 26 episodes.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I remember the big premiere of it.
Never mind.
Was a
that
big
came out.
deal.
Why is that in between? Yeah, okay, because Howard the Duck. It was right before Willow, 85 to 86.
Uh-huh.
Okay. God. I'm just looking at Lucas's career as an executive producer.
Well, executive producer.
It's all Star Wars and Indiana Jones.
He's got hands in, but he's not really doing it. As executive producer, what the fuck is that?
It's just all Star Wars and Indiana Jones.
Well, yeah.
What the And you know what? He's like, I directed the episode 1, 2, and 3. I didn't direct stuff for a long time because I didn't just want to be known as the guy that, did Star Wars. It's like, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it was.
Are you kidding?
That's why he didn't direct for a long time.
It's like, you haven't directed anything but Star Wars. Direct something else and show me.
It's
like
something about that bubble. You get people in that bubble in the industry or whatever, and they just start believing their own shit, or just can't just come out and say, "Well, I like producing better." I was like, "No, I didn't want to be known as that." Yeah, you didn't want to be known as a Star Wars guy because that's been such a hindrance to your career.
Yeah. You only own like a bajillion acres of land, and you have llamas all over it.
Yeah, I like Adam West. Like, oh, Batman ruined me. Batman's the only thing you ever did that was good. What are you fucking talking about?
Yeah, it's like you decided to be in Lady Chatterley's Lover. That's your fault. Dumbass.
And who paid for that? We all did.
Yeah. And he did that like in the 70s. It's like, what's wrong with you? Come on, Adam.
Willow was a really hard film to watch without thinking of every other film. Indiana Jones with the whole sledding snow thing.
Yep.
The only thing I like about Willow is every now and then it reminds you it's a fucking kid's film.
Yeah.
Because after that snow thing, when Mad Morgan gets rolled up in the giant snowball, they're like, "Oh wait, that's right. This is meant for children."
I don't think I'd let my children watch this. Not because I think they'd get scared. But
I'm not talking about your age children. We're talking about young, family film. We're talking about 10, 12.
Yeah.
Still children.
No, I think my kids can handle this. I just don't want to watch it again.
I don't think your kids should be watching. This is scary. Look at that big thing at the end.
Yeah.
When you're willing to let them watch Superman 3, you let them watch Willow.
If you think I'm going to save you, I'm not. I'm not that person anymore.
God, it's still the best Superman ever.
I don't do that stuff anymore. I love that. Even his suit's darker. It's
fucking brilliant.
He's fucked up.
I think that's what I love about this show. I mean, just to do a little quick, because we've been doing this for a while now.
A long time.
And not professionally.
You know, it was funny. My brother-in-law was telling me that he had done something online where he saw that just like a YouTube channel with X amount of subscribers, and they also have a podcast, and they make like $25,000 a year doing it. And he's like, how come you guys don't get that? It's like and I said, we're just not that popular. But no, we have like 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. We have thousands upon thousands of downloads of people that listen to our show from all over the world. But we get flagged on YouTube. There's just no way we're going to make that kind of money.
Yeah, I mean, not to make excuses and stuff, but also, we don't have the time.
And that's what I told him. I said, I'd have to quit my job in order to make this work.
Yeah,
Where
you know,
I'm-
if I was like a graduated high school student living at home, you know, and with an upper class family where I could get technology and shit and do it, so yeah, of course I'd be doing this nonstop and trying to. That's why all your YouTube stars are like 17 or 18
They're young.
because they got the fucking time on their hands.
Yeah, they have time to constantly produce, constantly, put up content and advertise and be just. I don't have that kind of time. I work a 40-hour work week, and then I have side jobs that I do. I just don't have the time.
And the whole family thing, whatever
The
that's
whole
about.
family thing. I got to see them once in a while.
And you know, and also, we do this for fun.
That's right.
We do this because we like doing it, and if I spent like if I treated this like a second job, yeah, we could probably work up enough YouTube stuff or do live stuff. Maybe, yeah, I guess. I don't know. I'm doing other stuff too.
In October, we just did our 7th year of movies. We've been doing this for 7 years.
Oh God, I'm so old. Holy shit.
Yeah, I was in my 30s when we started this.
Yeah, so was I. Shut up.
So were you.
Thanks for making me feel older. I was in my 30s. What about you, Scott?
Yeah. But we've been doing this 7 years and got a couple of 100 episodes to show for it.
But what I wanted to say was, we've been doing this for a long time, and we've kind of gotten into just a rhythm of doing what we want to do, and it's not just like we don't just like, all right, this week we're going to tear apart this film, and let's write all these, let's write a series of funny jokes and just make fun of this, and it's not like Mystery Science Theater 3000 thing, which it would be great if we had the time and energy to do it, but the one thing I like about us that we bring to the show and that we do on the show is that even though we're saying that we watch bad movies and review them, we are so willing to embrace like coolness, whether it's intentional or not, in bad films.
Right.
I mean, just look at how much we loved Jaws 3. And for all the wrong reasons. Again, Superman 3. Yes, not a good film. I still say it's the best Superman film ever, and there's like these little strokes of genius in there.
Sure.
I still to this day
Junkyard scene alone.
Pardon?
The junkyard scene alone.
Yeah, and speaking of junkyards, street trash.
Street trash.
I still argue one of the best screenplays you'll ever find in a low budget film.
Great.
There are glimmers, and it's just weird. Low budget films, you have a better chance of finding those flashes of inspiration than you do in like a big Lucasfilm fucktacular, because it's all just okay. We have to put on a show. Let's bring out the dwarves,
yeah,
and get whoever's like hot this month for the lead attractive guy, the one without deformities, and then let's just throw magic at it and see what happens. There's just a lameness to it. Is Willow a bad movie? Yeah. It was fine for family audiences, and if you're going if you like fantasy films where people have stupid names, then you'll probably have a better affection for it than we did.
About the best thing in this movie is the score.
No, I hated the score. I was like, oh, so they're reusing the Amazing Stories score again.
Well, yeah, which was also a George Lucas vehicle, but I'm not saying. Well, okay, you could take it as, oh, I like the score, but what I'm saying is the best thing in this film is the score.
Because I'm so used to it by now that it's just like, oh, that music, okay.
Yeah, it just seems like it's the most produced part of the movie is the score.
I think one of the few parts of the film that I actually laughed at is at the beginning, the soothsayer or whatever he is, after her daughter leaves to find the baby.
Yeah.
He says, I've seen it foretold. She will betray you eventually. And she's like, I trust her more than I trust you. Then you fast forward to where she says, Mother! It's like, you stop that. Or no, the guy comes back and says, your daughter, she has betrayed you. And then they cut to him, and he doesn't say a word. And all I'm thinking is like, told you so. And then they come back. But there's such a pause where they should have, like, if it was an MST3K, they would have said, "Told you so." It was perfect.
If there's a riff track,
like, they showed him, but he didn't, like, make a mock face. He didn't make any reference to it. It was just there.
Yeah.
I laughed because it wasn't there. That's what I'm saying.
Is there a riff tracks to this?
No.
If there is, they probably did it. They're probably what they realistically put in there, if it does exist.
To do it, yeah.
Is awkward.
Well, that would be like the first half hour of the movie.
Oh yeah.
And then they would. And here's the thing you don't do in a film with dwarves: draw attention to their fingers.
Oh boy.
Billy Barty's you have to pick which finger holds the mysteries of the universe, and then he holds out his misshapen, crinkly little sausage fingers, and then the other ones are holding up their little stubby hands and touching his, and he's curling them up in that odd way because, like, the knuckles are not where they should be on a human hand, and the whole scene's like a minute long, and all you do is looking at dwarf hands, like, curling and pointing and gesturing.
And then Warwick Davis's, like, perfect hand modeling hands.
Yeah, it's like,
if he wasn't a kind of a successful actor, he could probably be a hand model. He's like, he reaches in, it's like, oh, normal looking hand, but on a dwarf body.
And considering the fact that he spends most of the movie, like, waving the wand and holding the baby, yeah, hey, look, you see that dwarf with like that like, it has like a not so misshapen face and his hands look normal. We should have him do the lead. It's just, it's exploitative in that way that that's the only reason he's got that role.
Right.
It's not because he's a great actor, because he's not to his detriment. He's 17.
True.
He did okay considering.
What did he do after this? Because I don't remember seeing him in literally anything for years.
All right.
I'm gonna look him up.
I'm already looking. I'm already there. You raised the question. I jumped on it.
Wow, he was born in 1970.
He did TV stuff. Oh, Princess and the Dwarf. I wonder which character he played.
Yeah, he's only 46 years old.
Oh, he was in Leprechaun.
Oh, that's right. That's what he's famous
for.
He made a shit ton of those movies.
Yeah, I think there's 4, all in the span of 4 years.
I think they made 7 really. Total.
Yeah, then they brought it back later, like Leprechaun in the Hood, shit like that.
Yeah. So after Willow, he kind of did a couple of little things, like you said, Princess and the Dwarf, Zorro, some TV stuff. A lot of
Leprechauns.
Yeah, he didn't do a movie again until Leprechaun, and then that whole franchise.
Right.
Oh my.
Because again, what roles are out there for dwarves? He's playing a leprechaun. He's playing a dwarf. He's in the 10th Kingdom. He's in Leprechaun in the Hood. Well, that's another Leprechaun film. Then Harry Potter comes around and like, oh, good, I can play a goblin.
Leprechaun 4 in space.
Never saw that one. Oh, now this I didn't realize. I never knew he played Marvin in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Oh, really?
Not the TV show, but the 2005
the movie. Was there even a need for that?
Sure. Yeah, that was a walk. If there was a need to have a dwarf in R2-D2, there was a need to have one in Marvin.
Well, you know what, too? He wasn't R2-D2. But that's Jim Henson Company did all the puppetry and everything for that, so he had a not an in, but it was probably easier for him to get into that. Oh, look, a lemur. Makes me think of Cannibal Holocaust. He was in Ray. Played played Oberon in Ray.
This is weird.
Yeah.
You know what I'm not seeing him in?
What's that?
Game of Thrones. What happened to those doors being open?
Yeah. Okay. Real quick, funny story. Okay.
Well, we're talking dwarves, so it's gonna be funny.
Okay. So, Mary Ellen, because we watched the show Game of Thrones. We're big fans of the show. So Peter Dinklage, obviously, is he's in there. He plays what's his face?
Some dwarf, yeah.
Plays I can't remember his name. I'm not going to look it up. But anyway, Mary Ellen comes up to me and says, George R.R. Martin, who wrote all the books, said that he intended for Warwick Davis to be in Game of Thrones as Tyrion Lannister. I remembered to be Tyrion Lannister in Game of Thrones, and because there's been not a falling out, but just a change of the thought process of that actor, they're removing all of Peter Dinklage in the previous seasons and whatnot, and they're digitally inserting Warwick Davis, like CGIing his face on his body and everything. So Mary Ellen comes up to me. Hold on. She comes up to me and she says, "They're doing that. Can you believe it?" And I said, "Really?"
No.
I said, "Show me the article." And she shows me the article, and I said, "This was written yesterday." And this is a couple of years ago, but I said, "This was written yesterday." She's like, "Yeah," and I go, "Well, what day is today?" She says, "April 2nd. Thank you." And I walk away. And then as I'm walking away, she just goes, "Oh!" Yeah, sure, they're doing that. Uh-huh.